So just confirming everyone can see the PowerPoint, correct? And hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's get started. Welcome to the week 2 live session of your creative presentation class. So let's just do a quick review of what we've had for the last week. All right. So for the last week, you guys had to share a story by the time you guys have to make a presentation to everyone. And then you also had to reply to 2 or 3 of your fellow students. And you guys also had to analyze 3 TED Talk videos. So with that being said, everything that you guys did then, you guys are going to kind of build on from those 2 assignments to your week 4 assignment. So pretty much what you guys learned for your TED Talks, the things that you guys talked about in your history presentation, you kind of gotta add more a little bit to it more for this week's assignment, okay? So the purpose of really week 1 is for you guys to get an introduction to kind of get to know each other. Week 1 was made to learn how to critique um, a good presentation. Find the good qualities, stuff that you could build off of, things that you may have not known, different methods to choose from. And it's a guide for future assignments as well. So keep in mind the TED Talk videos where you guys to analyze it. It was so you could build off of it and not, kind of open your horizons as to what different techniques you guys can use. So as far as some people could talk about some of the top 10 qualities, if you think about it, some people chose humor. Some people chose stage presence. Use the things that they did and stuff they were successful to build off of what you're going to do. Okay. So keep that in mind with the TED Talk videos. Always refer to the top 10 qualities. That's why that part was important. So always refer to the top 10 qualities that you chose and try to add that to your own presentations and see how they did it. All right, so now we're going to talk about grading. So all assignments should due at Sunday at 11:59 at night, unless you have part of your assignment that's due Wednesday. So I'm currently finishing up some of the grades now. So if you just be patient, it may take a little bit longer because I'm gonna be out the country. So I'm gonna try to get those done as soon as possible. So just keep that in mind. And say if you have to hand in an assignment the next day, like if it's due Sunday and you hand it in at 12 o'clock, that's technically Monday. Every day you handle it up until Wednesday is going to be a 10-point deduction per day. So just keep that in mind. So if you hand an assignment late, you have pretty much until Wednesday, but the highest grade you'll be able to get is the 70. Okay. Any questions so far about grading or anything? Okay. So I always try to have the grades posted by Wednesday night or Thursday morning. This week, your grades may be posted by Friday evening. So be patient. You will get your grades with feedback. I try to give as much detailed feedback as possible, to try to help you build for future assignments and even your later career. So, like I said in week 1, do not take my feedback as criticism. I just want to help you guys improve. So that's why I'll give you guys always honest feedback. And always remember assignments to do at 11:59 Sunday evening. Once 12 o'clock hits, that's technically Monday, so that's technically late. And assignments turned in after that, even after 12, are considered late, and each day would be a 10-point deduction. So say you ended in Monday, 10 points. Tuesday, another 10 points. Wednesday, that's the last day. It's going to be another 10 points. So the highest grade you possibly be able to get is a 70. So keep that in mind. Even if, say, you lose power and you can't do your assignment, you guys had a week notice to do the assignment, so it's still going to be considered late. Any questions so far?
No.
Nope. Okay.
That's my children they watermelon.
Excuse me?
No, that's my nephew. He walked in my room.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So let's talk about your emotional storytelling assignment. So this is going to be assignment, I believe, is 2.3. So for your emotional story assignment, what you're going to have to do is pick an image, a song, or your favorite piece of art. This is going to be your first audio and visual presentation, so this is going to build on what you guys have to do for the next few weeks. So emotional storytelling, you're going to have to choose an image, whether it's a song, a TV show, a video game, a character. You're going to choose a show, and you're going to have to talk about what that image or piece of art means to you. Okay? So say for instance you see the stormy cloud. Do they help you relax? Why do they help you relax? What history do you have with this? Why is this image so important to you? The spider may make you happy. Why does it make you happy? Follow the instructions. So all you're gonna have to do, take a PowerPoint, one slide on each. It only has to be one slide. You could do a slide, you could do a YouTube video, whatever. Just make sure you have the main focus is the image and you attach audio to it. Again, if you're having any kind of trouble with it, contact FSO support. Call them, email them. They do their best to try to help you guys. Okay. So, and there will be an example video in that section to show what I'm looking for. So keep that in mind. So, give me 1 second. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a good example for you guys. Where is it? Okay, can everyone see the app I have up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So see how it's just one image, this piece of clouds, and this student attached audio to it.
This photograph, Noon Clouds, was taken in 1942 by Ansel Adams. He is a famous landscape photographer who loved nature, and that love was depicted in this photograph. Notice how the clouds have shape and dimension, and how the light hits the mountains and makes them pop. Then look at the bottom of the picture, and you can see the depth between the different trees. Though I stumbled across this photograph recently, this photograph will have a long-lasting impression on me. Photography is a passion of mine, specifically landscape and portrait photography, which sadly, I haven't made time for. And viewing this photograph inspired me to focus on what I love. I live where mountains are all around me, and it is so easy to overlook their beauty and tranquility when you see them every day.
Okay, everyone get that? So did everyone was able to hear as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's an example of the audio and visual presentation. Can everyone see back on my slide now?
Yes.
Okay, so that's pretty much what you're doing. See, it's just one slide. You talk about why the image means something to you. Okay, whether it's something that happened in the past, something that's going to inspire you for the future, something that helps you deal with something emotionally. It's different avenues to do it. You're not handcuffed to just talk about one emotion. If it inspires you to do something later, if it helped you with something in the past, if it helps you calm down and relax, talk about why, talk about the history of the photo when you found it. Plenty avenues you guys could go around, okay? So that's pretty much the gist of the assignment. I believe it's only like 2 to 3 minutes, so be careful with that time frame. So it's nothing that takes super long to do, so just be mindful of that, all right? Any questions about
No.
it? Anyone else have any questions?
So if we pick the picture, it can be a family picture. Can it be a family picture?
If you feel comfortable, because you got to remember, you're also going to be responding to other people as well. So
Yeah.
if you're comfortable with them seeing that, but it's usually I try to make it as much of a piece of art as possible. So even if it's like a music album cover, that's a piece of art. So, just I would rather you try to keep it as much to a piece of art that everyone could kind of recognize. But if you can't, then that's perfectly fine. I just want you to be able to do the audio and visual aspect of the presentation and be able to talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
So pretty much just take a picture and tell what we think about it.
It's usually finding the picture. So, for instance, like the student I gave you example, she found the picture of the mountain and clouds that means something to her.
Hmm.
Particular photo meant something to her. I had another student who found Spider Man was inspiring to him, so he chose a picture of Spider Man. Another student found a picture of clouds that was inspiring to them or helped them deal with something emotionally. Someone had a TV show. They have a picture of the characters from the TV show. So it's finding the image pretty much, not just taking a photo and talking about it. You get it? You understand that a little
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
bit? Okay. Anyone else have any questions? All right. So, like I said, the instructions is quite simple. When did you first encounter this piece of media? So, did you find it 3 years ago? Did you just find it? When did you find it? What emotional effect did it have on you? Like I said, just talk about, does it make you feel happy? Did that particular image actually make you feel sad? What's the story behind it? And why is it your favorite image? And how does this work inspire you? So pretty much for the 2 or 3 minutes, you already have the questions listed. Okay. So make sure you cover all four of those bases within your 2 to 3 minutes and give detail about it. So anything under 2 minutes, points should be taken off. Anything over 3 minutes, points taken off. So you have a 2 to 3 minute window just to pretty much answer the four questions and go into detail. So don't just list and say the answers to the questions. Make sure you talk in detail about it. All right.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
and also, like I said, this can be a movie, a song, a video game, painting, sculpture, a book. The options are endless. So don't feel like you just have to find an image off of the internet about something that you know means that you're gonna try to pretend means something to you. So say if you have a favorite song, if you have a picture of the cover art or the actual artist, you could talk about it. All right. So just keep that in mind. So, in the second part of it is going to be your discussion reply post. All right. So you have to go to two or more of your fellow classmates and pretty much do what you guys did for the last time. Describe what your reaction was when you listened to your classmates. Provide details explaining why you had that reaction. Like I've always said to you, go into detail. All right. Don't just and also just so it's not a mix up. You don't. It's a discussion, so you're writing. You don't have to do an audio to your response. So I don't want to get that any mix up. So just like you guys did for your history, you guys are just writing back your responses. So you don't have to record anything for your responses. But make sure you go into detail. Don't just say, I like your story. I like listening to that kind of music too. Go into detail, explain why, what it meant to you. Your response should be at least 3 to 4 sentences, a mini paragraph. You know, because remember, the more detail you give, the better. The easiest for me to give you guys that 100 instead of that 95 you guys got just because you didn't reply adequately to your classmates. All right. Any questions so far about it?
Yes. Far as sending it, do you want us to send it to you and post it on the discussion page, or just put it and send it to one place where you
So,
just also see
so
it?
when you guys submit assignment, you guys see where you're supposed to submit it.
Yeah.
You're not sending it to me. You can just submit like it's a regular assignment in that particular section. You guys have the submission page. That's where you post it, and it'll be open for the class to see.
Oh, okay.
All right. So just remember, what does the image? Why does the image mean something to you? What role does it play in your life, and does it still affect you? So answer those three questions as well. So what you guys have is pretty much 7 questions you guys can answer that should easily take up to 2 to 3 minutes if you guys just talk in detail. Now, say you don't. These are just the added questions to it. You guys don't need to actually talk all the way about it, but I do want to hear what role does it play. That's very important. What role does it play in your life? So just keep that question in mind when you guys are answering it. Now, it could be a PowerPoint or Word for this assignment, but it must have an image and audio must be attached to this assignment. It can't be two separate. Try not to make it two separate submissions. Have it the audio, like I showed you guys the video of the student. She had the audio and the visual in the same slide. So try to keep it that way. All right. Don't try to hand in two separate assignments because I'm going to keep going back and forth to look at the picture and listen to the audio. So Word is the best one for this. If you guys don't have Word, you guys have a different program you use, go ahead, but try to keep it attached to it. But the Word is probably the easiest application to use. But I've had people use PowerPoint is probably the easiest application to use. I have people use Word. I've had people even upload a YouTube video, which is fine, and submit it that way. So if you don't know how to do the PowerPoint part and you feel like you need to use a YouTube video, go right ahead. Just make sure you have that visual aspect attached to it while you're talking about it. All right. Watch your time. So, like I said, if it's under 2 minutes, you're gonna have points taken off. If it's egregiously over 3 minutes, if it's like 3:50, I'm gonna take some points off. So watch your time. Follow the instructions, and I like to tell multiple people, always go back to the recording. Remember, this recording is gonna be up, so always go back to the recording and always watch the provided video example that I'm gonna provide you guys. All right. So that will be up for you guys to use. You guys have the instructions. You guys have everything you need to do to handle this assignment. All right. Any questions about that?
No.
No.
All right. And what my expectations are for you guys is to be able to have detail, handing in your best work, completing every part of the assignment. You guys have the questions pretty much that you guys need to answer. So you guys should be handing your best work, and completing every part of it. And I don't want this to sound harsh or anything, but try not to make the excuse saying you don't have enough time. This is Monday. You guys have a while. You guys have a good time to do this, and make sure I want you guys to hand the assignment in on time. I don't like to take points off for lateness. I want to give you guys every point possible, and I want you to be confident in your voice. That's a really big thing. Confidence. Sound like you enjoy what you're talking about. Sound like this is your image, so you know what the image does for you. So just be confident when you're speaking about it. All right, that's the biggest thing. Anything I want you guys to take away from this class is learning how to be confident in your voice. Now that's the biggest part of the presentation. Someone could talk about something they don't know about, but you guys will never know if they sound confident in it. Is that right? Unfortunately, so
Yeah.
confident. Remember, confidence is always the public speaking. If you don't know what you're talking about, but you sound confident, you'll fool everybody in the room. Now, let's talk about this is going to actually be part of the biggest assignment. So this is every stage planning for it, all right? So planning a presentation, this is going to be, I believe, it's 2.4. So when you're doing planning a presentation, you always try to plan out your presentation ahead of time, right? You don't want to start the night of or the day before to do your PowerPoint presentation. Never wait till last minute. Now, for this assignment, you could use PowerPoint or Word for this assignment, but I highly recommend you use Word since it's kind of pretty much should be an essay format. So, and it's not, and listing won't be acceptable. So if you just list certain parts of it, don't expect a good grade. All right. So this just should be done in essay format, and I'm gonna provide you guys an example of what I'm looking for in this for this assignment as well. All right. So your plan is to pitch yourself to a future employer, and you should address the following. Identify your target audience. So, target audience would be, say, if you want to work for NBC, ABC, you want to work for a particular sports team. Don't just talk about a certain industry. Talk about a particular employer. All right, I can't stress that enough. Talk about a particular employer. So whether it's, say, you want to be executive at ADP, you want to teach at Full Sail, you want to work at NBC. You have to have a specific employer you want to target. So, like the instructions say the more specific you are with whom your audience is, the better you can tailor your presentation to connect with them. You have to do research. You have to talk about. You have to find out what they want, what the kind of employees they want, the kind of morals they have, the things they look for. All right. What is your big idea? What are you offering the audience, and what do you want them to take away from the presentation? So when you're doing this assignment, the best way to think about it is a job interview, right? So when you have a job interview, you guys tend to probably research the company. You guys have a particular position you're going for. So this is pretty much you're doing. You're pitching yourself to them. All right. So so you don't have to worry about presenting the actual assignment to them, but when you are pitching it, you're talking to them. You're pitching yourself to them. Why are you better than every other possible applicant that's applying to it? So keep that in mind. You're talking to them. You're pitching yourself. So it's not don't as if you're talking to me to it. You're pitching yourself to them. Think of it as a job interview. All right. So what will your star moment be? It's important to initially plan a moment that will get your audience to remember you after the presentation is over. So whether it's say you're gonna pull out a chart or you're gonna do something like your star moment is how they're gonna remember you. What are you gonna do in effect that will have them remember you like, okay, this applicant did this stood out. That's your star moment, okay? So that's going to be the big part. What is your star moment? How are you going to get them to remember you? How are you going to grab their attention the most? All right. So your big idea. What are you offering to those? What do you want them to take away from the presentation? So pretty much, how are you going to get them to say that was a really good idea? How do you want them to feel after it's done? So whether say if you research the degree program. Using your future course as a guide, consider how the skills from the classes allow you to help your audience. So even if this is your first class, you could talk about your future class you're going to take as if you're already taking them. Just look at what the course describes, all right? And here, this pretty much breaks everything down about how this should be an essay form, okay? I don't have a page limit. I don't have a word limit. I just want you to be able to answer every aspect of this. So you're beginning, how quickly resonate with your audience. Consider the following questions to help you craft your beginning. Who are you and why are you on this current path? So pretty much what drew you to there? Did you watch a particular show at NBC that you love so much that you want to go work for them? You know, how do your goals and their goals, how are they similar? You know, why do you want to work for them? The middle, show the audience what you bring them and how are you qualified? So with the middle, that could be now, that could be a little bit in the future. Using the program research, imagine the projects you will be creating during your time at full. So whether you're taking a business class or you're doing more. Okay, hold on. Someone asked, so slide 11, how long does it have to be? It's supposed to be 2 to 3 minutes. Do you have the instructions? The instructions listed. If you go back, the presentation just needs to be 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, no more, no less. It's a strict time limit, 2 to 3 minutes. One slide, one page, 2 to 3 minute for audio and visual emotional storytelling. All right. So back to your planning your presentation. Sorry, find what where was it? So, like I was saying, so the middle could be whether when you guys, what class you've taken, what class you plan to take, but talk as if you've already taken it. So if you take in business entertainment class, talk about what you guys plan to learn or if you haven't already learned. And there should be, and when you guys go to the instructions, there will be a link you could click and learn about classes you will take, all right? So you guys will have the tools to be able to research it. And in the end, is this is the opportunity to get the audience to remember you, your purpose, what you can accomplish. What are you asking the audience to do? Explain how the audience will benefit from it rising to you. Okay, so the ending, that's where you kind of put your star moment, all right? Or you can even put it in a separate part. I'm explaining the layout to you pretty much how I want it. So This is where you talk about your star moment. You know, what's your big idea? What are you gonna get from that? Inning as what you're gonna do to capture their attention before the interview's over. All right. So, and this is how will help with your final presentation because this is actually the first part of it. So the final presentation is about 3 parts. This is the first part. And do not submit your ideas on a chart. Don't just list it. That's not going to get you a passing grade. I will tell you that now. Don't just list it on a chart. Go into detail and make sure you reply to your classmates' posts. All right. So, and also share ideas with each other. You know, I want you guys get comfortable talking to each other. Share ideas with each other back and forth. All right. And tips for this assignment: do not wait till the last minute. This assignment will take you a little. Will take a little while. It's going to involve research. Research your audience. All right. Know what they're looking for. Know what each position requires, and follow the instructions very carefully. All the instructions are laid out for you. Some of the questions you have to answer, kind of the formatting and the examples are in the instructions. Follow that very carefully, and use the rubric as your guide, so you guys know what I'm looking for. You guys know what I'm taking points off, and use that as your guide, so you guys have all the tools you guys need to be able to do this assignment and get the 100 I want to give you all. And my expectations for this assignment: to make sure you covered all your bases. Did you go into detail? Did you proofread your work? And did you put effort in? I keep trying to tell everybody from what I was reading, make sure you proofread your work, all right? And the more detail you give, like I've always said, the better, all right? So those are the two biggest things: proofread your work and go into detail. And I want you to make sure you put effort in, because I could tell when people have done an assignment at the last minute, and that's not putting a lot of effort into it, all right? So I'm gonna see if I could pull up. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I could pull up the presentation to where I had a student example. Okay. What does everybody see on my current screen?
Student.
Okay, so you got. So this is the 2.4 planning presentation. Can everyone see this clearly?
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
so you see how they provided target audience. The pretty much try to see what they said. So they displayed out their target audience and what they want. They're looking for someone who is creative with their research abilities. All right? And then further go on, connections with actors, producers, and directors. Someone who's working for the network should have a beat. So they research what the company really looks for. That's what you guys should be doing, okay? That's their target audience, the CW network. That's where you talk about, that's when you research the company, all right? And then they further go in and talk about the DC aspect of the CW network with their TV shows. And then, for example, their big idea. Kind of look at that and try to skim it so you could kind of see what they did with their big idea. They want to show that this student wants to show the target audience, which will be the CW network, that they create pieces of art. All right. Anyone see that so far? You guys kind of get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your future self. They imagine being out of college in a year or two. They worked in a few independent fields. So you see how they're talking about what they're doing, what they will be doing in the future. That's also how I want you guys to look at it. All right. The beginning. When I was 19, my mom was diagnosed with leukemia. She diagnosed someone straight. So they tell us how they got to start watching the CW network. All right. What led you to that? All right. Well, I hope you feel better.
No, I'm not sick. I have stage 4 lung cancer. Sometimes I get winded. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, it's no need to apologize.
So the beginning is what led this student. This is the mother being diagnosed with leukemia. This is what led to them to start watching the CW network. Straight home from the full-time job to take care of her dad, her sister, who was still in high school. It was around the time that she started watching. That particular student started watching Arrow. All right. So that's pretty.
Mhm.
See something quick, simple. You just give a brief how you got into that. The middle portion. During my time at Full Sail, I made projects that depicted personal strength, physical, emotional, and mental. While in school, the main courses that taught me how to depict these different strengths of project portfolio. There were 7 classes in total, which each class. See, they didn't get too they didn't get too detailed with their middle. I want you guys to get a little bit more detailed. Talk about a class you took, or 2 classes or 3 classes you took, and what they taught you, and keep that in mind. But see, that's pretty much just the gist of the middle. What you're doing now, pretty much now, what you guys may be doing like from a year or 2 from now, with the class you're going to take, or even the jobs you had. That could be part of your middle. How the jobs you have now, the jobs you've had a little while ago, could also prepare you for this position. So that's exactly what the middle should be. In the end is their main goal, their big idea. I mean, not their big idea, but their main goal is to inspire people to overcome their own obstacles, whatever they may be. I want to bring my ideas of hope to the world, and I think the CW Network does a great job of showing that. All right. This is pretty much how you want to end it. My main goal is to create content that causes people to stand up for what they believe in and teach them how to fight for their beliefs with everything they've got. This is how they're going to pretty much remember them. That's the main goal. That's what they're going to go into wanting to get out of the audience, the target audience to get out of. This is what they want them to make them feel. All right. And they have listed as a star moment. Now you can put the star moment at the end. I'm not saying you have to put it in the beginning, middle, or end. You could just have its own little section, but make sure you list it as your star moment. So I want you guys to be able to list it like your target audience. Talk about who your target audience is, your big idea, your future self, your beginning, your middle, and your end, and then talk about your star moment. And this is how they said they're going to grab the person's attention, how they're going to try to get them to remember them. They will use visuals from real life stories of heroes and from the shows to emphasize how all heroes face obstacles. I want to use a visual presentation to get my big idea to resonate with the executives. My star moment will be about how I can make the content that helps to emphasize that everyone has a superhero within them that wants them to create change. All right. See, that stuff, it doesn't have to be super long. It doesn't need to be 3 or 5 pages. I think that was only maybe 2.5 pages at the most. It doesn't need to be super long, but enough detail where I don't have to guess. Is this your target audience? Is this your star moment? So keep that in mind. Did everyone understand that from the example?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So if you pretty much follow that format in the video I have posted for you, no question, everything will be fine. All right. So keep in mind, watch all the videos in the sections. You watch it multiple times if you need to. Pretty much every question that you've asked, you could ask me, will be answered from the examples I've given you, the the videos I give you, the recording session that will be posted later. Read the instruction in the rubric and watch your mechanics. Watch your spelling. If you have to have someone else proofread it, do it. Because, like I said, grammar, mechanics, that all counts. All right? And make sure you put effort into your discussion post and use feedback as for the future assignments. Like I said, I don't want you to think I'm personally criticizing you, so don't take that personally. I don't want to stress that enough. Do not wait till the last minute to complete these assignments. All right? And the purpose of this class is to, as you can see, if you guys haven't realized it already, is to help you tell a story, right? It's to help you tell a story in the creative man. We want you to be enthusiastic about your topics. This is why you guys have pretty much free reigns about what you guys could talk about, the art you guys could choose. I want to hear the passion in your voice. So I want you to be confident. I want you to talk with passion. That's 2 big things I want you to take away from this. And with each assignment, you should start feeling more comfortable sharing a story. So when you think about this, when you're speaking, think about it as if you're talking to a friend and you're telling them a story. You see, you know when you're telling your friend a story, you sound confident, you sound passionate about it. That's what you should kind of base your presentations off of. You're just talking to a few friends you're about to make and you're telling them a story. Be passionate, sound confident, be enthusiastic about it. That's all this class is, you telling stories, all right?
Okay.
Any questions so far?
Nope.
You guys sure? No questions? Questions or concerns, whether it deals with week 1, week 2, nothing?
No, we're good.
You said you have a question? Did someone say they have a question?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, this video will be posted within actually the next few minutes. So you guys go back to it, you guys get started. Your grades will probably be up by Friday. For week one, you guys grades be up by Friday night, maybe early Saturday. And I'll also start grading week two something. So keep that in mind. Your week two emotional storytelling, that aspect may be due, the auto visual part may be due by Wednesday. Double check the instructions to make sure. Again, a video will be posted up to help you guys with it. So keep that in mind, all right? So before
All right.
in the class, any last questions?
No.
All right. You guys have a good day, all right?
All right, you too.